have went on many group trips where they have all crashed and burned based off the one question, what now? Hi, I'm Claire Bradford, and today I will be talking on how to plan a trip. Now, with planning a trip, it comes a both dreadful and excitable experience. With it comes the joys of thinking of the unknown, what can happen, what connections can I make, what people can I meet. There's a lot of things, but to ensure the absolute enjoyment of this trip, it takes knowing your trip members' temperaments, planning ahead of time events you would like to see, things you would like to experience, occasions you would like to see, and also organizing those things on a spatial order distance basically off of the amount of days you're there. Now, all of these are very broad subjects, but before we get into that, the nitty-gritty details, I would like to say why you need to plan a trip, because there are all kinds of different people. There are go with the flow people, there are people who enjoy itineraries, there's all kinds, and so why do I need an itinerary? National Geographic did a story where they wrote about how to plan a trip, and they mentioned two studies. They mentioned one from the University of Surrey in 2002, where they said that happiness is achieved when a trip is planned. And then the second, Cornell University, in 2014, and they said that having a trip, having an experience to look forward to ensures the happiness of an individual. And it's true. Whenever you looked forward to something, it's always there. And associated with that, the U.S. Travel Association did, they always do yearly reviews, and they saw that in December there was 97 billion income from travel. Now that's just December, and we can see that travel does not stop. Everyone's going on trips, and it's enjoyable to think about that you might go on one. So, with planning your trip, it takes knowing your trip members' temperaments. Now, when I say this, I mean knowing what they enjoy. As I mentioned, are they go with the flow? Do they enjoy an itinerary? Would they like to sit by the pool? Would they like to go on an excursion? There's all of these different sectors that you need to delve into almost, and when you're delving into that, you need to ensure that each trip member is enjoying it, whether they go with the flow, whether it's combative and they like an itinerary. Everyone can have a happy medium. Now, to achieve this, I suggest everyone writing down, for the sake of the example, let's say there's 3 trip members. I say everyone write down 3 places they would like to eat, 3 places they would like to visit. Now, this could be a museum, this could be a water park, it could be anything. And with that, I would suggest writing down the price as well, just to help with budgeting. And so you have your 3 places you want to eat, you have your 3 places that you would like to visit, and then you have one place or one excursion that you would like to do. My personal favorite is to go on sunset cruises. Whenever I go to a new city, whether it be Boston, New York, Texas, Savannah, I always go on a sunset cruise. It's a great way to see the city and to enjoy the nature around you at the same time. So that would be my one place of an excursion. But with this, I also suggest putting stars next to things they absolutely would like, whether it be a restaurant, whether it be a place that the trip member would really, really like to experience. And this puts into perspective for the trip members, almost a hierarchy scale of, I really want to enjoy this. And that ensures that if there is a go with the flow person and there is a itinerary person, that it genuinely makes sure that everyone gets what they want in the end. Because leading into my third point of planning spatial distance, if you know where you're going, and if you know where each of the events, each of the restaurants are, it's easier to almost group them together. That way you know where everything is, and you know that it can be done on this day and this can be done on this day because they're close together. But I would also like to emphasize that an itinerary does not mean that you have to follow it. It can, if all the trip members agree that an itinerary is what is best for them, but an itinerary ultimately leaves you with an answer to the what now question. You will never wonder, you will never do anything because you have an answer to it. Now, covering those 3 points, I would also like to add must-dos. This is just separate from the 3 points, but must-dos: always visit the visitor center. It is a great place for maps, for inside scoop of where to visit around the city, the culture to experience, as well as talking to locals. They always know best. Always listen to the locals. And then also Yelp. Yelp is your best friend when traveling. It reviews restaurants, events, gas stations, it reviews anything, and it has pictures and menus, so you'll never be left wondering what or why. It'll always have a question or an answer for your question. But besides those must-dos, I highly suggest taking these 3 points into consideration, knowing your team, knowing your trip mates' temperaments, planning ahead of time events you would like to experience, as well as planning where those events are in spatial distance, and like correlated to the days you're there. But having all those things can guarantee you an itinerary. And as I said, an itinerary does not mean that you have to follow it, only that it provides an answer to the what now. Now that's all left to do is to start planning.